Time for the news. Beer of the day. Yingling Lager. Temperature down here is in the 80s. Sunny, rain in the afternoon. We're getting back on track to summertime weather. Rain in the afternoon in the summer is almost an everyday thing and lasts about 20 minutes and that's it. Those of you that have been going through the ice and the snow and everything in the Midwest and the Southwest area that's never had it before, my thoughts are with you. Been there, done that, and it's not fun, I know. Okay, COVID information. COVID-19 death toll in Tri-County area makes significant jump. The death toll from COVID-19 spiked again in the Tri-County area on Tuesday. The death toll from COVID-19 spiked again in the Tri-County area on Tuesday as 29 more local residents lost their battle with the fast-spreading virus. County Road 466 pasture land near new apartments back on track for developments. I believe that's up on 466. It's not part of the villages. It's just another one of them contractors that's buying land and doing construction and butting it right up against the village's property line. I'll tell you what, that could end up being the downfall of the villages if somehow a developer doesn't create a buffer zone because it can create a problem. It already has in some places. Sherwood Villas resident loses license for 10 years after golf cart crash. This is way up in the northern area of the villages, the older section. Well, this guy don't look old enough to even be here. That's the way it is around here. 55 plus? Yeah. 19 years old? Sure, you can buy a house. I don't get it. I don't get it. Right there he is. Can you see? There you go. Village resident. Of course, you could be renting. Like I said before, renters around here and the people that own rental property, they don't care. Resident of Sherwood Villas will lose his license for 10 years as a result of a golf cart crash. Joshua Christopher West, 35, who lives in the villa community in the village of Chatham, pleaded no contest last month in Sumter County Court to charges of driving under the influence and refusing to submit to a breath test. It was his third DUI conviction within a decade. Therefore, he will lose his driver's license for 10 years. He was sentenced to 45 days in jail and has been placed on probation for 3 years. Community Watch was flagged down by another golf cart driver shortly before 8 p.m. December 3rd after a red 96 Yamaha golf cart was spotted on a thick hedges along the golf cart path on El Camino Real. Yeah, took his driver's license away for 10 years. Now, if this was you and this happened to you, here's just a heads up. That also means he can't drive a golf cart here illegally. If he gets caught driving a golf cart, he could go to jail. You're not allowed to operate any motorized vehicle. Now, they may give him a special, and I don't know what they call that, if he says, I got to be able to go get back and forth to work. They give you a special something permission by the judge to drive your car to work and home from work only. But after 3 DUIs, if I was a judge, I wouldn't. Be persistent to get your COVID-19 vaccine. I am on 2 waiting lists. I've been on a waiting list, it seems like forever. I don't have any faith in this system whatsoever. Possible COVID-19 related travel ban has Florida officials and restaurants fuming. That ain't never going to happen. This is a free country. You live here. They're not going to declare martial law in the state of Florida and say you can't go nowhere. It ain't going to happen. People it seems like they want to believe all this silly internet crap. It ain't going to happen. Just like you ain't going to see drones delivering Christmas packages. It ain't going to happen. Lady Lake town manager candidate wants to bring his dog to work. I don't care. I really don't. But just keep in mind, you're going to open the door for everybody. What are you going to do when that one person, and there's always one, that wants to bring their pet snake to work? If you are saying we allow people to bring pets, you can't eliminate cats. You know what I'm saying? So you bring your pet dog. That person out there sitting next to whoever may want to bring a pet snake. So you have to say yes. You can't discriminate. It's just food for thought. You know, people in a place like this, you have to stop and think. And I don't pick things and make fun of any of it. I really don't. But if you decide, like the yard decoration rule here, you're not allowed to have decorations in your yard. Is that rule broken? Oh God, every day. Everybody breaks that rule. But then they get caught once in a while and they gotta take it down, you know, and then they wait a week or two and then put it back up or whatever. But let's just say, I don't know. I'm trying to think of some kind of a thing. Let's just say that Flag Day, there's one. I'll just use that as an example. Now listen, I hang a flag. I don't care. I'm not saying anything bad about flags, but let's say Flag Day, and they want to hang flags in their front yard or whatever. Now, people will hang a flag over the garage door or something, and we do, so that's fine. But the other side of that coin is, how would you feel if the guy across the street was, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of something real quick, a Muslim, and I'm not picking on the religion of Muslim, but he wants to fly some kind of a Muslim flag, and I don't even know what that is. Now, if they pass the rule saying you can fly a flag on your holiday, then you have to allow him to fly a flag on his holiday, even though you don't like it. See, that's where the rules get kind of complicated. How would the district rule on that? That's the food for thought. I should name this video Food for Thought. CDD 7 chairman ticketed after bicycle crash involving a golf cart. Village of Pennycap woman jailed after drinking sake at Sakura Sushi and Grill. That's a restaurant that, well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe not. It might not be. I was thinking that was in Lake Sumter, but it may not be. Let me see here. No, it's at Colony Plaza. That's over here off of 466A. That's where they built the two new restaurants. But anyway, she got to drinking some sake and got into an argument or something, and that was the end of that. CDD 7 vows to end rubber stamping by hiring a top legal firm. I'm watching that very close to see how that works out. They're getting tired of being told how much they have to pay for other people's problems. In other words, what comes out of their maintenance fund to pay for something that happens in some other district somewhere else. I mean, that's the way this whole system was set up here. It is getting a little ridiculous on some of this stuff. Like these people over here at Deaton that hired that guy, they arrested the contractor to cut all that tree and brush and all that stuff out. They're saying, I forget what was the final figure on that. They're talking between 10 and 40,000, 20 and 40, whatever it's going to cost. Now they're saying that all the way up to a certain area has to chip in to help pay for that. And I'm thinking, why? We didn't do anything. That was an illegal act. And those people should be held responsible for it. And I think everybody here that sent me emails anyway are agreeing with that fact. Legally, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with all that. But CD7, I think, is getting tired of it, and they've hired their outside attorney's office, a legal team actually, and I think they're going to see if they can get out of that. And then there's a lot of questions there. If they can break away, what's that going to do to their maintenance fund? Who's going to be responsible for doing the maintenance once they break away? I don't know. We'll see. Convicted sex offender with address in the Villages jailed without bond. Remember I reported that, I think, last week. He rented a house next to Chula Vista, I think. And I said, this is crazy. These sexual offenders should not even be here. But renters don't care. People that rent houses don't care. Here's the same guy, and I'll read you the story. A week later, same guy, show you his picture because you saw it last week, and that way you'll know it's the same one. Another one of these weird tattooed up guys. Yes, they paint a picture on themselves of what they want people to see, and so I do not apologize saying if you're all tattooed up in the face and the neck and stuff, you're not coming on my property and doing anything for me. There he is. How's that? Is that better? Yeah, there you go. There he is. See the tattoos on his head? And he's got it along. Let's see what's happened. The convicted sex offender with an address in the Villages has been jailed without bond on registration charges. David Michael Shell, 37, was arrested Wednesday at Lucky U Cycles on US 301 in Wildwood on a Sumter County warrant charging him with 6 counts of failure to provide accurate registration information. In late January, Shell registered an address at 1132 Del Toro Drive in the village of Del Mar. That's up there by Spanish Springs. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the property tax bill for the home is mailed to a resident in Silver Springs, Maryland, rental property. This past November, Shell had registered an address in 2020 Cristo Road in the village of Santo Domingo. That's also up there by Spanish Springs. Shell was convicted in 2005 in Lorain County, Ohio, of attempted gross sexual imposition, whatever that is. So now the sex offender is out of the villages for a while anyway. See, these people it's a constant repeat offenders, and why they're here. I don't want them here. It's one of them problems that's going to get worse as the villages gets bigger if something don't get done about it. Will they do anything about it? Let me just say, if it influences anybody to not buy a home, it probably won't get done. Sheriff's Bicycle Drive 2020, a huge success thanks to generosity of villagers. I think they take a collection of bicycles for underprivileged children, and Wildwood has quite a few of those. Well, I was trying to get a pic. Wait a minute, let me do this. And thanks to the villages and villagers here, we are known as some of the most generous donators of anywhere. They do a lot here. Villager can't get through to reschedule vaccination. I didn't know we had to reschedule a vaccination. Nobody told me. Every time I check it, it just says I'm on a waiting list. Well, look at this guy. Why anybody would have anything to do with these? This has nothing to do with the villages, but it's one of these small towns that's around the villages. So these people that I'm showing you here, our squares are open to the public. Our roads are open to the public. These people can drive in and around and through the villages anytime they want to. There's nothing to stop them. These people will go down to our squares at night with a date or whatever, and they're down there. And these people are rotten to the core. So when you go down to these squares and things, don't assume that everybody you see down there is retired and lives here, and you get this idea that you're very safe down there because you're inside the villages. That may or may not be true. Well, I don't know why I can't get these pictures to pop out. Oh, I'll do it this way. There we go. Look at this sweetheart. Can you see him? Tattooed above his eyes, all up and down his neck. Probably just everywhere. That guy will never do any work in my yard for any company. You do what you want. Bellevue man accused of trying to run down girlfriend's father. That's what he was arrested for. Jesse James Inslin, 31, of 11657 Southeast 55th Avenue, was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon without intent to kill. He tried to run him down with a car, but he didn't mean to kill him? What? Okay. Inslin has a handful of prior arrests, including one last March for leaving the scene of an accident involving an injury, possession of marijuana, and fleeing law enforcement. Some people just ain't any good. It's just in them. They're just no good. I feel sorry for the police department around here. It's got to deal with this kind of stupidness on a daily basis. Every day, somewhere around here, this stuff goes on. Mostly outside the villages, but the cops just don't patrol here. Matter of fact, you very seldom ever see them around here because nothing ever goes on here. But listen, I had a lot of friends up north that were deputy sheriffs, that were city police officers. One of my best friends was Killer Kowalski. That's what we all called him. He was a sergeant, I believe, for the Indiana State Police, the DOT division. I don't know what they actually call that, but he was, inspected trucks, pulled them over, and that kind of thing. And he lived not too far from me, and he was a character. And he used to tell me some stories that one would just make you cringe, and others, he would tell me, would just make you laugh. You just could not believe this. But they were true. I like that guy. I really miss him. He was a funny, funny guy. I wish that I could make friends with some of these Sumter County police officers. I don't know. You hear stories. I'd like to be able to go down to the Sumter County Sheriff's Office someday and maybe take my cameras, maybe take a camera person with me to do the actual filming. I'd like to talk to them, maybe interview a couple of them, get a tour of the new jailhouse, police station, and, just kind of get their side of things. Sumter County sets special meeting on the village's offer on impact fees. Ooh, we made an offer. I didn't know you could do that. They've been talking about, this is a long article. I'm not reading all this. I'll read some of it. An agreement to hike impact fees on the village's development in Southern Oaks will be discussed at a special meeting Tuesday of Sumter County Commissions. In a letter dated Thursday to County Chairman Gary Breeden, village's Vice President Gary Lester said the village's would agree to a 40% increase in impact fees. He agrees. I thought Wildwoods is the one that voted on that, and they set the fees, and whatever they set them at, you just got to pay them. The agreement could resolve a continuous issue that drew a large crowd to a Sumter County meeting last month. Impact fees are a one-time charge, not a continual tax paid by developer for new projects or expansions. The money is used to pay for roads and other infrastructure costs. I thought that's the reason why they raised our property taxes 25% was to help pay for the new roads. Now they got to have another impact fee, 40%. You know what that means? He's just going to pass that on to the new development. So that means whoever buys the new homes down there, they're going to go up in price because he's got to pay this. He's just going to tack it on to the price of a new home. We all know that, right? Everybody wants to get their finger into the pie. Hasn't been that many years ago that Wildwood was a sleepy little Florida town and nobody was considering actually to live here. An official warns the COVID-19 pandemic has spurred an epidemic of children driving golf carts in the villages. Because of the pandemic, we are seeing kids here continuously we see them at Christmas or Easter. But now because so many of them are involved in online instruction, they can do it anywhere. Talk about going to school, I think. Said Supervisor Gail Lansby at Friday's Community Development District 3 meeting at Savannah Center. Lansby, who worked for many years with the village's public safety department, said because more children are in Florida's friendliest hometown, many of them are being spotted driving golf carts. Well, there's laws about that. I guess, if you see something going on, you call the police, I guess. We see more and more kids who are 10 and 11, that's against the law, right there, behind the wheel of a golf cart with grandpa sitting next to them. It doesn't make any difference if grandpa's sitting next to them. You can't have a 12-year-old driving a car with grandpa sitting next to you. You can't have a 11 and 12-year-old driving a golf cart with grandpa sitting next to you. But there again, see, it's the people. They don't pay attention to rules. They buy here because of the rules, but then they don't follow the rules because somehow the rules don't apply to them. They apply to everybody else. The law says you must be at least 14 years old to drive a golf cart in Florida. He said the penalty for driving underage is pretty draconian. The offenders can be issued a ticket that could come back to haunt them. They are so eager to get their driver's license or wherever. It may be in Pennsylvania or wherever, but they'll learn they can't get their driver's license because that ticket they got in Florida. I have reported this before, but Grandpa doesn't care. He also said the villagers who allow their underage grandchildren to drive their golf cart may be in for a shock if that child is involved in a crash involving property damage or injury. You're out of luck with insurance. That's true. Your insurance will not pay because you let an underage person occupy that golf cart causing the accident. Insurance will not pay. They will say, "Soddy." Okay. That being said, I'm going to get out of here. That's the news. I got to get it edited. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. See you on the other side.